What if I told you the reason that you're stuck is not because of your circumstances, but it's actually contribute to the things that you're unaware of? Okay, the way that you think, your thought process, the way that you maneuver, your habits, the way that you handle money. Okay, it's not that money is not coming towards you, but it's the way that you're handling it. Okay, you may be impulsive and don't know it. You may be neglective and you don't know it. You may be irresponsible and don't know it. Okay, the interesting part about that is we love to post blame on our circumstances of why we're in the same position that we are. We do. We love to point the finger at we don't have enough money. Okay, we don't have enough opportunity. We're not giving the chance. We're not giving the ability to do or change, to shift, to alter, to transform. But ultimately, it's contributing to a lot of things that you're not aware of. But I want to go a little deeper with that. It's a lot of things that you are aware of and you're refusing to change. That part. Welcome to Next Level Transformation Talk, y'all. Here we dive into real talk, real thoughts, and real transformation. And this particular topic, this particular talk is going to hit a few nerves. Okay, it's going to ruffle some feathers, but that's what I do. Okay, a bird will holler when their feathers are ruffled. So feel free to put in the comments of how you feel. But this is the truth of the matter. A lot of times it's really not your circumstance. It's like 20% of your circumstances of why you are stagnant or why you are stuck and still in the same position that you were 10, 15 years past. Okay. Circumstances plays a very small, minute part to that. The bigger picture is what you're not aware of, and the even bigger picture is what you are aware of and refusing to change. And so many of us get into this space like, I have time to change, I have time to do things different. I had this conversation with my oldest daughter where, her mindset is like, when I get into this particular environment, then I'll do better. But then why not make the steps now? So when you get into that new environment, when you get into that new space, when you get into where you're trying to go, then the changes won't be so difficult. It won't be so challenging, right? If you start making the changes now instead of waiting until this happens. And that's what a lot of us are saying. Okay, a lot of us are saying, man, if I had about another $10,000, I would make this change, invest this, and do this. Baby, I tell you, I'd probably be a rich woman just off of people's excuses alone. If I had this type of money, I would do this, do that. Like, I have heard it where if I had the amount of money, I will help so many homeless people. I will help the less fortunate if I had this money. You can do that just by just getting them a bottle of water. How many of y'all buy cases of water within your home? And when you go on the highway, you see all the homeless people. This is specifically for the South, right? You see all the homeless people. It's like 100 degrees outside. You ain't gotta have $20 to give them. Give them a bottle of water so they can stay hydrated within this heat. Okay, so it's not necessarily the fact that you don't like it's your circumstances. Like I hear people, and I know people who have said this where, oh, I can build this business if I had this amount of money. Baby, do you not know the times that we are in 2026? You know how many free resources is there for you to start up a business without zero money, with no money? Let's talk about it, right? So it's not so much about your circumstances. It's not so much about the funding. It's not so much about your finances. It's more so of the things that you're unaware of. But I really want to highlight, I really want to dive into the things that you are aware of and refusing to change. And this is why you're stuck. This is why you're stagnant. This is why your life is not moving in the direction that you're desiring. It's not because of what you are lacking. It's what you're refusing to change. Okay? The way that you think, okay, the spirit of disappointment, I talked about this in my last video. A lot of you guys have this still attached to you. Granted, it's very hard to shake. It's very hard to let go. It's very hard to maneuver. I am one. It's very hard to release the spirit of disappointment, but this is when you start to adapt inner stability, which we talk about at Next Level Wellness Club. Man, we dive into how to create inner stability and know that inner stability is possible. Okay, when life provides you ups, downs, ins, and outs where it doesn't make sense, right? Through uncertainty, you can adapt inner stability, right? That's why we dive into Next Level Wellness Club. Just a little taste, just a little sample, understand, and the breakdown in every aspect of it, right? That's the thing. It's like it's not necessarily, okay, it's not necessarily your circumstances. It's the spirit of disappointment. Like you no longer trust yourself. And the mic died in mid video. So 2 minutes, no sound. Okay, so I pray I'm gonna try to get the rest of this video out. But listen, the spirit of disappointment has a lot of you guys in a chokehold. I'm gonna try to go back to where I saw the mic drop. So it was a lot being said. Okay. When the spirit of disappointment still has a hold on you, right? You are in a space where you don't trust yourself, let alone you don't trust Heavenly Father. That's like another talk for another day. But when you don't trust yourself, then you don't make the changes. You don't do the shift. You don't take the leaps of faith. You don't make the small steps because you don't trust yourself, right? In essence, you're saying to yourself, like, okay, it's just safe to be here because of the disappointments you experienced in the past. I talked about this in the last video. And so that's why a lot of you guys are looking at your circumstances as the reason why you're still stuck. And that's not the case. It's situations where you are aware of and refusing to change, but it's also things that you're not aware of. So you may not be aware that you're stagnant. Okay, you feel like you're just living your life normal, and this is just the way that your life is going to be. A lot of you guys may not be aware that you're limiting yourself, that you're keeping yourself in such a small space because it's safe here. Okay, this you have been operating in safeness just to protect yourself out of just protection and survivor mode for a lot of you guys. And so a lot of you guys don't realize that your circumstances or the stuck or the way that you are stuck is not because of your circumstances, it's because of your mental state, your mental stability, okay? Your emotional instability, okay? The way that you think, the way that you feel clearly operates in the way that you move, okay? You may not be aware that you're not in alignment. A lot of y'all feel like y'all in alignment, which is crazy work, right? Because if you're in alignment, then you will understand, then you will attract, not chase, right? But again, it goes back to the whole thing of the spirit of disappointment being on you. You have not released the spirit of disappointment where you are trusting again, and this is what we dive into Next Level Wellness Club. Our three core pillars is awareness, alignment, and action. You have to be aware in order to get in alignment, in order to implement action, to integrate action. Like a lot of you guys are going things out of order. You feel like you're aligned, but you're not aware of a lot of things within oneself. And in essence, you can't take action. A lot of you guys are trying to take action, very impulsive, very eager, very in a state of just leaping off the bridge. And then you don't know what you're aware of, what you're trying to put in alignment. You're just taking leaps. So it's literally, okay, that's what it's really the core essence of why you feel stuck at this time. It has very little to do with your circumstances, because I can guarantee you if $10,000 was given to you today, you would fumble it within 24 to 48 hours. It'll be gone. I know you can put in a comment, say, no, not me, not me, and that's perfectly fine. But by you feeling the need to defend, let something within yourself know that she may be right about something, because you are not even in alignment to handle that type of lesson. And so it's less about your circumstances and more about what you're refusing to change, what you're refusing to transform. I'm gonna keep looking at the mic, y'all, to make sure I don't let our eyes just listen. Um, but this is what we really dive into Next Level Wellness Club. And so it's less about, and I know y'all, and Holy Spirit is wanting me to say this. I know times are hard. I'm not saying times are not hard. I'm not saying times are not challenging at this moment. I'm not saying that what I'm saying is so easy to do, it's so easy to implement, it's so easy to put into action. That's not what I'm saying. But you have to be aware, and you have to be conscious enough in order to see a difference. Okay, a lot of you guys are wanting difference to just fall in your lap without you putting in the work, and it doesn't work that way. I don't know why y'all think it works that way. I don't know who told y'all it works that way, but it doesn't. You got to put in the work. You have to put in the effort. And I get it. When things are looking grim, when things are looking glim, when things are looking dark, when things are looking impossible, okay, that is the moment, that is the time, that is the season where you really start developing some roots. you really start to ground. You really start to trust, build their inner trust, build their inner knowing. That's when you really start to ground and develop inner stability. That's when you really start to trust and fall into Heavenly Father's purpose, His way, His will. When things don't look like they're changing, when things don't look impossible, but don't blame something simply because you refuse to do the work in other areas. Hope that got on I hope that got on the mic. You understand? Don't blame circumstances for what you refuse to change, because it's like I gave you the percentage, I gave you the ratio in the beginning of this video. It's literally 20% of your circumstances and 80% of either what you are not aware of or what you are aware of and refusing to change. Y'all let me know the ratio, because I can guarantee you a lot of you guys are very much aware that you have poor money management. You're not consistent, okay? You're not diligent. You don't move out of integrity. You know these things about yourself, okay? But yet you refuse to change them because it takes a lot of work to change them. So it's just easier to be the way that you are and blame an outside source instead of self reflection, okay? Because you are very much aware. You're very much knowledgeable. You're very much aware. But then now it's this space of, okay, am I willing to change? It's the willingness that a lot of you guys are missing, right? You just want things to be handed to you. You want your road to be easy, and I get it. But if you are called, if you are feel like you are the chosen, if you feel you are the one that's called for different, if you feel like as if you the chosen one, if you feel like that your path is divinely guided, then you should know your road is never easy. You should know that. But then if you feel like your road should be easy, then are you truly divinely guided? Are you truly divinely called? Maybe that's a question you have to ask yourself, right? Because the road of the called is never easy. It's the most challenging. We have the most hard roads, the most challenging paths, the most challenging journeys. Okay, the mic is about to die, y'all. Again, I love y'all. We're going to dive more into this. Become a member. If you would like to be a member, Next Level Wellness Club, dive in with us. This is where we uncover. This is when we dive deep. Visit Next Level Wellness Club, nextlevelwellness.club for more information. The link will be in the description box below. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Till next time.